Hello, welcome. My name is Matei. You are staying in an aula which is here from 22 October 1897. That was the exact date what is written up there when this place was inaugurated. What you see there in the middle, there is a square down there. There is the foundation stone of the whole building. On 1893, Carol I, the first king of Romania, gave a royal law and decided to build in this place this beautiful building. They needed only 4 years to finish, but they finished in 4 years only half of the whole university palace. I will show you up in the library. After that, the extension, the rest of the palace, was built in 6 years. For total, we have a total of 10 years to be built. As architectural style, here we have Art Nouveau, but only the balcony up there, it's painted in a romantic style of architecture. The architect of the whole place is Louis Pierre Blanc, a Swiss architect which designed also Carol Davila Medicine and Pharmacy University from Bucharest, the Agriculture Ministry headquarters from Bucharest, and this building also. In 1916, here in this place, exactly on these chairs, the Senate of Romania meet together to decide the fate of the country. And we had two important laws adopted here. The Agrar Law, by which each peasant received the land in exchange of the military service, and the law of the universal vote, by which all the men above 21 years old were able to vote equally, no matter of the social stature. That statue, all around us, up there, with a sign on his chest, the lotus flower, is the Hermes god. It depends how you want to look. Is the one of the patrons of Franco-Masonry, the protector of the travelers, the messenger god? It depends how you want to look to him. And above the windows, you will see a head, the same Hermes. That head is the Atlas god head from the Greek mythology, which is holding the skies above our heads. Up there you see two paintings. That one is a painting with the Carol I, the first king of Romania, and this one is Elizabeth or Carmen Silva, the same person, the first queen of Romania. Carmen Silva was her pseudonym because she was writing stories, and that was her writer name because she loved so much to write stories for children and not only. I want to ask you, do you have any question about this hall? Do you want to find some specific things? Do you have a question about something?
What do you use it for?
We use it for special events only, so not courses, not seminars. It can be rented by private and public sector. Opening of the year ceremonies, end of the year ceremonies, Doctor Honoris Causa events, so all kinds of special events.
So it can also be rented, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, nice.
And everything what you see here is almost 100% original. Everything from the third quarters down is fully original, including the chairs and the wood. The top is not original because in 1944, Iași was bombed by the Soviet army, and this whole building suffered severely damage, including this specific hall. But like magic, but it was not the magic because this hall is a little bit down comparing to the surrounding wall of the universities. Only the tip of it was affected. They fastly rebuilt it, and they managed to preserve everything here original from the third quarter down. Now, yes, and some words about the connection with this place, with the royal family. I want to mention that up in the library, but I will tell you now. So I told you already that Carol I signed the royal law for this building to be built because Iași was in front of a huge expansion in front of the academical studies. The first university is a little bit down here where the actual medicine was, and it was in 1860 started there. And later in 1893, Carol I saw the necessary for a bigger space and come here in Copou, where some ruins of the old theater from Copou were. And he saw the ruins and he gave the royal law and decided to build in this specific place a new academical hub, a new university hub, to serve the expansion needed of the academical population of Iași from back in those times. And again, they built it in 2 stages, 4 years and 6 years, and the total was 10 years. They both encourage very much the education of Romania, and also Cogălnicianu, the Prime Minister of Romania, encouraged this side of the starting the university academical life of Romania and of Iași. Now we can stay here as much as you want. You can admire, you can make pictures.
I have a question.
And after, yes, please.
Can you tell us what that R here on top, what does it mean?
Yes, that R, it's the original R, so that was between, and it is between the elements that managed to be preserved. And that R originally, it's coming from Rex, which means king in Latin. So that, let's say that is for the king. And this plate here is for the queen, because this plate, yes, Carmen Silva means her pseudonym again, in Latin, the song of the forest. And that plate was put there to emphasize the connection of the building and to show respect and admiration for the queen. Because again, the family, royal family of Romania was the one responsible for us being today here. Again, to that R, that is still there, despite the censorship applied by the communism regime after 47, which the year in which Romania started to be a communist country. Why? Because they promoted the idea that that R is coming from Romania. So in this way, they managed to preserve the meaning of it, the original meaning, and after the communists fell, that one is still there together with us today. Any questions?
I think Elena is trying to take a picture for us.
Okay.
What those birds or the ornaments symbolize?
Those birds, and again, so that bird, the lily flower, so you see the lily flower there and there are the connection with the royal house of Romania, the symbol of, so the lily flower is borrowed from the French monarchy logo, Fleur de Lis, which represented the royal house of French, let's say. And they were put it there to emphasize the connection of the building with the royalty again. And again, in this hall, we have a lot of Franco-Masonic elements. I'm going to show you up in some pictures that we have them from the original states, some of the elements that were here and also preserved, like the sunflower, the sun, the moon, the Hermes, that chain above the marble, which is the symbol of connection of the oath inside the Franco-Masonic system, yes. So that's why those are put it there. Those people, as I told you, that upper part was destroyed. In the original state, that was without those people there. It was just a simple ceiling. After they replaced everything and they rebuilt everything, the whole building together with the front, with the top of this hall, they embedded there important people of Romania who shape our society. Writers, political men, a lot of people who put their footprint in our history and develop our society, bring it to the stage in which we are today. And they are like Ibraileanu, Cernătescu, Eminescu, maybe you heard of it, Ion Creangă. These are...
To the park.
Yes, okay, good. Is the queen, and we will see another woman up, woman's up there in the library as well. și în alte 6 filiale pe plaja lui. Aceste volume sunt din toate domeniile, sunt din domeniile tehnice, sunt din domeniile de artă. Uite, chiar aici avem niște cărți de artă și, bineînțeles, literatură, dicționare și diverse domenii, dar principal tehnic.
Funcționează ca și o bibliotecă?
Da, a fost un efort să o dăm spre utilizare publicului pentru că cererea era enorm de mare și de 2 ani în urmă am început să o descriem și publicului. Programul de vizitare este de luni până vineri, de la 10 la ora 2 după amiaza. Dar în rest, și în timpul vizitelor, studenții pot veni, orice student din Iași, la orice facultate, la orice universitate, poate să vină și să învețe aici. And this is a sketch. And I like to tell about this one that is a sketch with a very, very modern building. It has, in that year, in 1897, it has running water, hot water, sewage system, central ventilation system, central heating system, electricity. All of this in a world without those one outside of this building. How we can explain this? The electricity was ensured by a gas generator which was placed in the back of the university. And let's call this an exercise for the royal family. They wanted to show the Romanians what they are capable of, to trust them and to welcome them in their country, to show them how Romania will be together with them. And that was the water tower, which still exists today, but of course is not a water tower anymore. It's a research center. You can have a view of the city from there, 360 degrees view. This is the chandelier. We don't insist it because you see it outside. And this is the university. I've told you, the first part 4 years and the second part 6 years. This became more clear now because this was the first part, built in 4 years under the royal law. We, exactly in this moment, we are here in this point. After around 30 years, started in 1930 and finished in 1936, they started to build this half here. And in less than 9 months, because this photo is took it in 1935, they finished it around September, October 1936. In less than 9 months, they closed this gap here and they put it here in the front, this tower, to create a perfect symmetry of the university palace left and right. Do you have any question until now? Please.
Something like when they opened the university, it has the sewage and the electric and the other. What we should know that this was already happening in the Palace Castle, which was the modernest castle in the whole Europe at the moment of opening in 1883.
Yes, in Sinaia region.
All these systems was already, the newest technology of the time in Palace Castle.
Yes, so they bring that technology from Palace Castle of Sinaia, Brașov, Romania, here also, and they integrate it here. I want to mention that Palace Castle was the first castle in Romania who had an elevator.
So and the movable roof.
And yes, and a roof that can be opened and closed.
From inside.
Yes, which is truly remarkable for that time, and okay, not for that time, but for this part of the Europe. For Romania was a big thing for that year. Going further, we can go from outside to the inside, here, where we are. So the inside is an eclectic style of architecture. What is an eclectic style? Is a mixture at least between 2 styles. In this scenario, we have Baroque, 80%, and Rococo, 20%. What is Baroque? The immensity, this bigness around us. What is Rococo? The Rococo is those details that you see, that flower over there, that curve over there. So what makes Baroque even more beautiful than it is already? The architect which designed all of this is Louis Pierre Blanc, a Swiss architect which was invited in Romania by Ioan Mincu, one of our greatest architects in Romania, and he loved so much Romania that he moved into our country. He started to create this, Carol Davila, Medicine University and Pharmacy from Bucharest as well, and he started to create all around this interior as well. Alvar, Voinescu and Mureșan were the 3 Romanian painters who painted this library. but they didn't paint it like this, because nothing from what you see are the original picture. This library was painted like this. So this was the original arrangement of the paintings in the library, and this was at least interesting because we have few cultures here on a hall like this. So in that end we have the Sphinx and the pyramid. So we had Egypt, the closest Orient, comparing to Romania. In the other end, the opposite direction, we had the India, which is the farthest Orient. They represented the farthest Orient, comparing to the Romania. In the squares in my back, we had seen from the Romanian countryside. For example, this was Yenisar from Turcia, from Dobrogei. This, after the last arch in the end there, this is the citadel of Suceava, from here, from Suceava, from Bucovina, northeast part of Romania. In the last triangle there, above that arch, we have the Putna Monastery. This is Galata Monastery, and we have also Curtea de Argeș Monastery, from a little bit south part of the country, comparing to the Moldova where we are now. Why? Why all of these cultures here? Because at the first glance, it looks like a little bit kitsch, but everything was put purely intentional. They wanted to emphasize viewpoint of the Western civilization to the Romania. Especially the French look at Romania as the gate to the Orient, and makes perfect sense because if you came from Europe and you want to reach either the closest Orient, Egypt, either the farthest Orient, the India, first you have to pass through a gate. You see, a gate, a gate. And when you pass through a gate, you expose yourself to the culture, the spirit, and the body, the citadels. So you expose yourself to the Romanian culture, which is Christianity, yes, and also it is the resilience shown in front of the enemies during the history. So that's why we have it, the citadels there. And this is the most chromatic version of the whole place. But something happened in 1944. Unfortunately, Iași was part from the war, and Romania was part from the war. And more exactly and more specific, Iași was part from the Iași-Chișinău front line. Iași was the battlefield between the two major forces in Europe from that time, the SS troops and the Soviet troops. When the SS troops advanced into the Russian territory, the Soviet troops, what did? They sent the airplanes, they bombed everything, they killed their own soldiers, they killed the SS troop soldiers and Romanian army soldiers, so they killed everyone. And of course, they destroyed a lot of buildings. I will go a little bit in the back because I want to show you that upper view building. This place was the place where the majority of the bombs fell on the 6th of June, 1944. So, what destroyed the university wasn't the direct hit of the bomb, it was the shockwave that traveled, yes, the horizontal movement of the explosion, and disintegrate everything that you see here. So this was the final look. And at that moment, a big question raised. What to do with this building? To destroy it? To let it like this? To try to rebuild it, which was the craziest idea possible, because imagine, was after the war. People don't have something to drink or to eat. The supply chain have been destroyed. The water was, again, a big issue. And the money, of course, was even a bigger issue. But some people have the courage to do something. And those people, one of those people is the rector of the first rector of the Polytechnical School from Iași, Cristian Niculescu Otin. He was the one who proposed the idea, the crazy idea, during those times, to rebuild this. He says something like this: okay, we are engineers, we will come with knowledge, we have some money in the budget. We can come with engineers, we can come with planning, with execution, so let's start something. You came with donation, okay. So with their own funds, with donation, with work, volunteering work, everything was started to be reshaped and remade. And as you can see here, in 1944, in September, it was still war. They tried to collect information, the sketches that left, and tried to recreate the original sketches. And then they started with the execution part. But the problem is 1947. In Romania, the year 1947 is the year in which we started to become officially a communism country. So this was a big issue for what we have here. We have reality and we have religion. So the censorship of the communism regime was against everything which was connected with that. But they keep going. It was a little bit slow pace, but they keep going and they keep going to finish. And they managed to put the ceiling back on, but they saw a problem. Without pictures there, it was very hard to remake them because they didn't have the money, the sketches, the original painters. So they decided to adopt this new shade of green that you see for present onto the walls. And the good thing is that we have two original elements that are here since Carol the first time. I want to ask you, what are these elements? What do you think are these original elements that you can see them here, you can see them here, and are from the Carol the first time? What are they? Let's do a brainstorming.
Coat of arms?
What?
Coat of arms?
Sorry.
The coat of arms.
No.
The railings.
Railings. One of them are the iron railings all around. As you can see here, an element is missing. So you can see it also here. They did not replace it. They keep it 100% like this. And very close to the iron railings, the bookshelves, up and down. So the bookshelf, of course, without the doors, without the glass, yes, 80% of the bookshelves and 100% from the iron railings are completely original. And this is the exterior after the bombing. This picture was taken in September 1944. So this is the moment when they start to dream that they can make something to look again as it looked before. And above the library, we finish about the architectural part. The Hall of Law steps down there. It is this, the reconstruction process, the long hallway from one point to another. I want to ask you again one question. The whole ceiling was made out of walnut with gold, and that was made out of marble with gold. Those pillars and arches were made. What they are made today? What material they use it when they rebuild it? It's not wood anymore, it's not stone anymore, so not marble anymore. It's not a natural material anymore. It's a composite material. Does anyone know which one? Which is?
Quartz.
Quartz, not what?
Quartz.
No?
Plaster?
Plaster. So we have a bigger material called Bois Simon, which is patented by Henry Coanda, the man who invented the jet engine. And 50% of it, it's plaster, as you say. What? Da, beton plastic, Bois Simon. The other 50%, 30 is split in two unequal parts. 30% are wood shells. So after you cut the wood, you obtain those debris, yes? And 20% is wood resin. So everything mixed together, we obtain this Bois Simon. And they use that here and here as well. And here they after painted to look like that. About the aula, here we will not insist very much because we already present. This is the commemorative plate. In essence, this shows very beautiful words for the Queen Elizabeth. This is the exact date when they opened this building, 22 October 1897. This is the original look of the aula with the paintings with the King and the Queen there. But these paintings, these original paintings, disappeared in 1947 because they were stolen by the Russians. So the official version for that time is they disappeared. And they replaced them very fast with other two new paintings that you probably saw down the stairs. When you go down the stairs, the first picture that you saw it is, you will see it, is Georgi Asaki. Why it's so important to be in a university? Because in 1813, he taught the first Romanian how to be engineers of roads and bridges in Romanian language. And some of these courses were exactly on the Stefan Boulevard, on the, not the last, but the one before of the last building on the right, as you go to the palace, next to the Three-Arch Church. And he also started the first primary school in Romania, public primary school, which is exactly the last building on the Stefan Boulevard onto the right. The other side is Petroponi, which was a chemist engineer and was also a construction engineer and participated together with Louis Pierre Blanc in the construction process of the building in which we are. This is Fleur de Lis, the lily flower, the owl, the symbol of wisdom, the night owl, the symbol of wisdom, and that are about we already discussed. This is more actual a photo in 2012, and in 2013 these two have been moved outside to welcome the public, and inside of the aula the king and the queen came again. Two paintings painted by Mihai Tarashi, a local and a teacher here to the University of Arts of Iași, and they are still there even today as you look them down the stairs. I'm waiting to make you a picture. And last information that I offer to you is this one. This was the painting, original painting, the last one. This is the original painting that is in the aula. So this was painted by Austrian painters. So here we have Romanian painters in an Art Nouveau style. So here we have Baroque with Rococo. So you can see the differences. But unfortunately, you weren't able to see this because it was covered intentionally with a white paint during the communist time to protect it. In 2019, we tried to unveil it, but we found out that under that white, the pigment mixed and it's completely lost. At least we have it still here. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you like it.
24th of June is Sânzienele. Those ladies are blessing the crops for the summer. Daughter of kings from Lebanon, who transfigures into a bull to kidnap the beautiful virgin. And she brings Europa to Creta in a 5-star hotel, all inclusive. And he makes her the queen of Creta. Now, her son Minos is supposedly the beginner of the Minoian civilization in Greece. The Romanians, pentru o ultima chestiune, eu cred că aici Vădaș vrea să include și zburătorul. Zburătorul, the flying spirit, is the fourth myth. It's an erotic myth, hunting young ladies and hunting cattle during the night. It's like a vampire or strigoi. How do you say in Greek? Strigoi? No. Vârcolakis.
Vampires.
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 And they are hunting a spirit.
Vampires.
The other mentioned that. In the last painting here, small generation.